In my mind, worlds collide. Something inside me is gone. Still I keep going on.
Hey, what is up, guys? THEREDAYSAWSOME here. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're talking some more SpaceGodzilla in the Monsterverse. Now, my last video talked about how SpaceGodzilla is perfect for the Monsterverse, how he fits in the Monsterverse. If you want to check that video out, link in the description down below. Go check that out. 16 minutes of pure awesomeness right there. This video is kind of a similar thing. It's a mixture of everything. I'm going to talk about how SpaceGodzilla fits in the lore of the Monsterverse, how he will affect the Monsterverse lore, and his implications, all that. So this is a mixture of a theories video. These are also theories that I think they might do for the movie, and this is also just my creativity too, of how I would implement SpaceGodzilla in the Monsterverse and his lore and how he affects the world of the Monsterverse going forward, yada yada. It's a mixed bag here, so mainly we're having fun here, so that's the important thing, is just having fun. So if you enjoy this type of content, subscribe if you are new, leave a like down below if you enjoyed, and comment down below what do you think of the video, what do you think of the topic, and let me know how you would implement SpaceGodzilla in the lore of the Monsterverse and how he would change. Also, link in the description down to my social media, stay up to date just in case something were to happen and you want to be up to date. Anyway, that is a mouthful. Let's talk some SpaceGodzilla in the lore. So SpaceGodzilla, an alien, right? We are no strangers to aliens in the Monsterverse. Ghidorah is a confirmed alien. They flat out said it in the movie that he is an invasive species, a false king, and Mark just flat out calls him an alien. So we know there's life out there in the Monsterverse, confirmed life out there, and they are Titan-sized. Now, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring here, and I'm going to say that the Monsterverse is about to introduce a space human race. That's right, humans from space. I don't think alien-wise, if we're going to get aliens in this movie, obviously SpaceGodzilla would be considered an alien, but when I say aliens, I'm talking about like the little beings and the flying saucers. I don't think they're going to be gorilla people. I don't think they're going to be bug people. I don't even think they're going to be totally alien. I think naturally what they're going to do is introduce the idea that there are other human civilizations out there in the universe, in the galaxy. Think about it this way. We've explored the possibility and confirmed that there are civilizations living on Skull Island, an uncharted island that has pretty much fantasy creatures on it, such as Kong. And now we have just discovered that there are a human civilization living in the Hollow Earth, another fantasy realm as well, a world within a world. What's the next logical step? Well, you introduce a human civilization that's not from our world, and they are coming to our world because they're hostile, because SpaceGodzilla wiped them out, Ghidorah wiped them out, or SpaceGodzilla's on their side, whatever it may be. I think in this movie we are definitely going to get, on my theory side of this video, we're going to get a human extraterrestrial newcomers to the Monsterverse. Now, that also just opens up a huge can of worms by itself, but that changes the game forever. Now we have to live with like everyone in the Monsterverse has to live with the idea that, well, there are now bad guys beneath our feet, and now there are bad guys above our head, and the world is a target, more or less. Now, how SpaceGodzilla came to be. There are I have two different theories for you, and two different creative ideas that are not technically my own original idea. There is a theory going around that when energized, Godzilla shot his energized supercharged beam, I hope that gets a new trademark or something, into the air, that went into the atmosphere and created SpaceGodzilla. Now, in the novelization, that does say that this beam is Godzilla's strongest beam yet, so that is plausible that his atomic breath actually did exit the world and went into the atmosphere, or it escaped our ozone layer, and then some cells got into space and mutated in a black hole, just like in the original film, and created SpaceGodzilla. That is totally plausible, but how awesome would it be, or how just more interesting and more of just like a can of worms would it be if SpaceGodzilla has existed long before Earth, or has existed long before Godzilla himself. And Godzilla shooting his atomic breath alerted SpaceGodzilla of the presence of another powerful Godzilla, and that is why he is coming to Earth now. And that is the theory we are going with. So, energized Godzilla shoots his atomic breath, clears the Ice Age storm that Shimo created, and that alerted SpaceGodzilla. Now, SpaceGodzilla coming to Earth, he's simply been alerted to another powerful version of a Godzilla species such as himself. Why does SpaceGodzilla care? Well, he's evil. He is pure evil, just like in the original film. SpaceGodzilla was capable of organizing and planning, and he had the evil intent of kidnapping Godzilla's son and was successful. So SpaceGodzilla coming to challenge Godzilla on Earth is simply an evil motivation itself. He is the anti-Godzilla. Godzilla wants to bring balance to nature. SpaceGodzilla simply wants to destroy the balance in nature. SpaceGodzilla represents the chaos side of nature, while Godzilla represents the balance side of nature. And this is where the two characters will conflict each other and create probably the biggest rivalry in the Monsterverse. Where Godzilla thought he hated Ghidorah. Well, no, check out SpaceGodzilla now. Now, I did mention that SpaceGodzilla possibly pre-exists Godzilla or even Earth itself. That's up for debate. That could be something, not everything needs to be spelled out for us. That's actually the beautiful side of introducing SpaceGodzilla to the Monsterverse, is that, well, he's an alien, and he's probably maybe never visited Earth, or if he has, he probably did it one time or something like that. It opens the possibility that there is no information on him versus everything else in the Monsterverse. Everything is described in cave painting. Everything has been documented once somewhere on a cave painting, whether it be Godzilla and Kong, Godzilla and Scar King, Godzilla Shimo. Everything is on a cave painting because it's happened before. It's been documented by human civilization before. This time around, we can throw a new spin on it where there is no information on SpaceGodzilla whatsoever. So anything is up in interpretation. The only thing that could be translated to the audience is that this is a version of SpaceGodzilla. We have no idea how old he is or how he came to be, but he is pure evil and he wants to destroy the balance of nature. And simply he goes to planet, just destroying life or just causing chaos and complaining, whether it might be. But he comes to Earth because he senses a powerful Godzilla, a Godzilla that he's never sensed before. Or at least not a creature as powerful as Godzilla before. Evolved Godzilla probably can challenge SpaceGodzilla's power if he were let to grow in power. So that's why SpaceGodzilla will probably be coming to Earth to kill Godzilla, so nothing can ever stand a chance to SpaceGodzilla, and to just continue his chaotic side of nature, just destroying it, disrupting the balance of things. And again, it's just a beautiful thing that Monarch just doesn't have any information on this guy. So, not that I hate the exposition scenes in any of the movies, but it offers a new idea where there is none. It's all speculation at this point. The only thing you can get lore-wise is to get some type of book or the novelization that they can further expand upon it. But in the film, it's all a mystery. But for me, if I were to do it, I would have it can go either way. Just have it completely mystery where he was just created, he is what it is. But you can also introduce the idea that maybe SpaceGodzilla, rather than the idea of Godzilla being the biological father and accidentally creating Godzilla, what if SpaceGodzilla was the creator of the Godzilla species? Like, what if he's the god of the Godzillas, basically? He created the Godzilla species from his own image. Kind of like Jesus. They say we were created in his image. Well, SpaceGodzilla created Godzilla and his kind in his image. And maybe he became corrupted and evil, and now he's on a conquest of absolute chaos and destruction. Even if that's not outright confirmed in the movie, if SpaceGodzilla's in it, that's just going to be my personal headcanon. That SpaceGodzilla, Emperor Godzilla, he's definitely got the little crown on his head. He definitely could have multiple nicknames in this movie other than SpaceGodzilla. But he can totally just be the god of the Godzillas and still have a twist on the origin, like we had a twist on the Mechagodzilla origin. Typically, it was, Kiru was possessed by the soul of Godzilla, but Mechagodzilla was possessed by the soul of Ghidorah, a vengeful Ghidorah at that. So instead of Godzilla being the creator of SpaceGodzilla created Godzilla. holy shit. And maybe at some point he was a good god. Maybe at some point he was a good father to plant the planet, and going to plant the planet that can sustain life, and creating Godzilla creating some type of Godzilla on planets that can harness life to protect the balance of nature. And at some point, SpaceGodzilla became evil and wicked, is on a conquest to destroy life, to upset the balance of nature. And maybe SpaceGodzilla has killed thousands of Godzillas, but this is going to be his greatest challenger yet, is Godzilla evolved on our home turf, Earth. Holy shit, what a way to expand the lore. I don't know if they'll ever do it. I really hope they do something similar to this. I think that is such a unique spin on things, that SpaceGodzilla, the father of all Godzillas, became wicked and fell to evil somehow. Maybe he is Zozo Halawa and he swallowed a star and became evil, but for some reason he left Earth to go on his conquest for whatever reason. I don't know, but I'm excited and I'm all for it. But that is how I would implement SpaceGodzilla in the lore of the Monsterverse. To keep it, they kind of have a recap. SpaceGodzilla created the Godzilla species in his image. He is the god of all the Godzillas. He's gone to plant the planet that can sustain life, and creating a Godzilla species, or just populating that Earth with the Godzilla species in hopes that they would defend that planet from other evil and just protect the balance. At some point, SpaceGodzilla becomes evil, and he goes on a conquest of pure chaos and disrupting the balance of nature. And he has slain countless planets, countless Gojirahs, and now he's coming to Earth to fight the most powerful one yet, Godzilla. But that is it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, stay awesome.